branding, and we were talking about that earlier. A brand is how people perceive you, what you transmit about a message without talking. And a brand, like if you have a website and you have your social media, what you need to do is, and I've seen that, and that's why I'm saying that, people go on and they have a name on Facebook and another name on Twitter and another name on LinkedIn and another name on the blog, you know, and a logo here and a different picture here. Don't do that. You are diluting your brand. You are confusing the people. So you need to use the same business name on your Twitter, on your Facebook, on your blog. Well, LinkedIn you have to use a personal name, but you can add a company name. Okay, but at least it's your name. If you are, for example, I'm my own brand, so I don't have a logo, I have my picture. I use the same picture all over all the channels. If you use a logo, it has to be the logo. So when my eyes see the screen and I see a logo, I know it's Rick, no matter what channel it is. I want to have the same feel, the same colors, the same way of communicating, the same way of sending your message. Okay, I want the feel to be the same everywhere. So we need to remember that. There is a site where you can go, and the site is it's somewhere on the slide, knowem.com. And I'm going to show it to you.
KNO?
Yeah.
K-A-O?
KNO, like no,
Uh-huh.
em.com.
Noam.
No, yes. And this is how the site works, looks. What is it? It has all of the social media sites that existed. They have 575 popular, over 150 domain. And what you do, you go, you enter your name here, your business name here, and you check it. And it will tell you if it's available or not on these sites before you start. So you can have the same uniform everywhere. Remember, George, we talked about that with Len about the name of the business? That it has to be the same thing. So start here. This is where you have to start. It has, if you see Twitter, Blogger, and I'm going to go take you down, and you can see. See, all these sites are there. So it's all the sites in there. Pinterest, and I even added Pinterest again. So you can check actually if your name is available or not. And that's the first thing. So, and you need, even if you're not on these sites, you need at least to reserve these sites with your business name so no one can hijack your brand later on. Social media is not Facebook and Twitter.
Is that the same as search engine optimization?
Yes.
Okay.
Search engine optimization, meaning that you are optimizing your website, your profiles with keywords that not you choose, that your customers will be using to look for you. Remember that. Because people have the tendency to use keywords that sound reasonable to them. But again, it's not about us. No one cares about us except us. So we need to think about the customer. And the customer will always ask WIIIFM. What's in it for me? You need to have that message clear, very clear. What is it that you're giving your customers? And I know I'm going through details, it might sound overwhelming, but it's not. It's step by step what you should do so you do it the proper way. It's like building Legos, you know, like cubes, one on top of the other. You cannot start with the top one without building a good base. And once you do that, you take some time to build the base properly, you can fly with it after that, without worrying that you can hurt yourself later on. So it's about personal branding, and if we are small businesses and we own our own businesses, it's all about personal branding. And personal branding is like, who you are you credible? Do you really know what you're doing? Do people trust you? Do people look at you as an authority in your field? Do people look that you have skills that they're looking for? So it's all about marketable skills. It's all about to capture the attention of others. It's basically how you self-package yourself. Think about yourself as a product, because we are all products to our customers. If you go to a store and there is a little box that is white, and then for the same price, or even maybe 50 cents more, a beautiful box in a beautiful red bow, and it has nice colors on it, and it's the same exact product for the same price, which one are you going to pick?
Beautiful one.
Exactly. That's the branding. That's self-packaging. That's how you want to appear to people. Think about it this way, and then it will become a lot easier for you to think about branding. And then social media is present. It's attraction, it's building relationship, it's brand. Branding should say a story about you. Everything on social media should be a story, and that's why I always advise whoever is starting a small business, on the About Us website, they should start a story. The more human the story sounds, the more you're gonna be closer to your customers. The more people will feel like, you know what, let me deal with them rather than someone else. And social media, whenever you are or you talk on social media, make sure that you're using a human voice. So I don't feel like I'm talking to a computer. I need to feel that I'm relating to another person that feels, that likes things, that doesn't like things, that feels if I'm upset, that feels if I'm okay, that tells me happy birthday, that I'm serious, it's about that. It's about, remember, building relationships. It's about building relationships. So what does the branding story does is the first thing we say about branding is to determine your, again, that's answering the rest of your question, is to build your USP. USP is the unique selling proposition, or in other words called value proposition. What is it that you're offering that is unique about you? What is it that you can do for me that no one else can do? Why should I use you and not use someone else? Basically, how do you stand out between hundreds, if not thousands of others? And believe it or not, it's not that hard to do, because not everybody knows the tools. So for you to know the tools, you're already ahead of the pack. All what you need to do is to apply what you know to stand out of the pack. So it's about what's relevant to your audience. You must be consistent and transparent. And if you start, for example, on a blog once a week, no matter what happens, you have to write a blog once a week. If you tweet every day 2 times, no matter what happens, you have to tweet every day 2 times. If you are, you have to be, you cannot, I go sometimes on blogs of people and I see that they haven't been there for a year. Or their last entry on Facebook was 2 months ago. Or the last time they tweeted was 2 weeks ago. I'm like, why should I follow you? So you need to think about that. Think about how you react to others, and that's how others are going to react to you. So this is important. So transparency is very important. You cannot pretend to be someone else, because people will Google you and will find out exactly who you are. And once they lose trust in you, you lost them. And you not only lost them, you lost them and their friends and their families and so on. It's a pyramid. So we need to think about that. Social media tools have leveled the playing ground basically for big and small businesses. The best way to enhance it is by having the base of any social media presence is your website. Because your website is a tool, is a social media tool. And then you have, and what you use your social media networks for is to drive traffic to your website. That's how you can sell your product or your services. It's all about driving traffic to your website and to stand out. So it's all about, again, web presence and how you leverage your network.